Hey there, you, me, and DC fans, and welcome if you are new. I am the stepson of Krypton,
And I'm Mantis.
and today we are discussing the finally confirmed, at least as far as I've read in IMDb, we have found, and I say we, all the people actually making money off it, have found Hal Jordan, and it is none other than Kyle Chandler. Mantis, I don't want to waste a lot of time because we've done many videos on who could be Hal Jordan in the new series Lanterns. Are you ready for the discussion?
Yeah, I am.
All right. Let's go.
Brightest day in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's light.
All right, guys. So it has actually been confirmed that Kyle Chandler will be the Hal Jordan in the new HBO Max Lanterns series. Now, this is interesting, as Mantis is typing away on his keyboard, as we can hear, because
Kyle Chandler.
You just oh my god. So, and the reason he's searching for it because it is an interesting thing because so we know that Josh Brolin actually turned down the role of Hal Jordan, so he was offered and turned it down. But a lot of people had questions, concerns, upset about the age of Josh Brolin, being that he is like 56.
I think so.
57,
yep.
as he would be taking the role. Not only did they not like the idea of having that old of a Hal Jordan, but then it brought up negative feelings that people had when they believed that the reason that James Gunn was not going with Henry Cavill as Superman anymore is he was too old. He wanted a younger cast of people that he could cast that, kind of like Deadpool says in the second movie that could carry this franchise the next 10 to 12 years. That's what supposedly he was looking for. And now with the announcement of Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan, this is his seventh actor he has cast that is over 40. Now, for us people over 40, we're like, hell yeah. However, it upset people because they're like, well, if you can have all these older actors playing these characters, why can't we have Henry Cavill? And I am sympathetic. I wish we could have Henry Cavill as Superman, even in the new DCU. Let's just reboot everything, but keep him. We can't. And this is what we're getting. Now, I will get into how I feel about the casting of Kyle Chandler in a minute. But Mantis, I am curious. How do you feel about that casting?
I when I saw it, I was like, I'm not sure if I've seen anything this guy's been in. He's not a popular actor that I know of. Just saying, like, it's not like a mainstream casting that I could think of. Then again, I don't watch a lot of new movies anyway, but I did see he was in Godzilla. I like the Godzilla movies, so I'm just kind of looking through some of his movies and shows that he's been on, and he's waving me off.
I also want to say one interesting tidbit. So the funny thing is he's been in all the Godzilla, including the Godzilla versus Kong movie. But he was also in King Kong in 2005. Peter Jackson. Well, that's not the original, but
the reboot.
That one's actually that one's actually completely separate from the new Kong series. The Peter Jackson's 2005 one was its own kind of standalone. Was rebooted of the older versions, but then they did this new one. But he played a different character in that. So I thought that was a little interesting that he's been in two different Kong series.
You're gonna have to put that Jack Black scene in here now. Because like Jack Black's in that movie, right? He's in King Kong.
Yes,
with Adrian Brody. Yeah, okay. So yeah, in Wolf of Wall Street as well. I gotta steer it kind of towards what you brought up at the beginning about the age stuff, and like the point about this is he goes for Josh Brolin first. Josh Brolin turns it down. Goes to Kyle Chandler, who is he's 59 now, right? So another older casting for Hal Jordan. So we talked about this previously in another video we did about why he seems to be going after older Hal Jordans here. So Hal Jordan's character, obviously in Lanterns, is going to be an older Hal Jordan. And maybe he's not thinking of this Hal Jordan being in the series that long, or maybe it's going to be a separate Hal Jordan from in the main DC DCU, or I guess maybe it's a different time. I guess the way I should say it, not a different universe type thing, but a different time period of when the Lanterns show takes place.
And we did get a little more information too, along with it, that the Jon Stewart they're actually looking for a young actor to play Jon Stewart, and Hal Jordan will be training him up as a young Jon Stewart. So it'll be interesting to see, because we know in the comics, as Hal Jordan is getting older, we're led into things like what I hope we get into, the Blackest Night prophecy, which that is an amazing storyline. It leads to a lot of great stuff that would be very hard to wrap in a movie. I won't say very easier to do in a show that you could do, an entire season on Blackest Night. Like if you do a 6 or 7 episode HBO Max and you have the money of HBO, so it's going to look good.
Bingo.
So I'm excited to see that. But yeah, that's where, not necessarily see multiple Hal Jordans. We do see Hal Jordan in multiple different roles, from being a Green Lantern to he ends up becoming Parallax and basically the embodiment of fear. He ends up becoming a White Lantern when he, technically the entity that is the White Lantern merges with him to defeat Necron in the Blackest Nights fucking storyline. So a lot of great stuff happens with Hal Jordan as he's older. That's why I'm excited to see an older Hal Jordan, is because we can maybe get into some of that stuff.
Ooh, nice. And I know you mentioned Jon Stewart, and that has not been cast yet. However, as you pointed out, I was searching and found that the front runner, reportedly, this is all rumors now. Now we went from rumors on one to confirm this is actually still just a rumor at this point. The front runner for Jon Stewart in the Lanterns Max series is at this point is Damon Idris. So I was joking. I was like, I knew it had to be an Idris somewhere. They're trying to cast for Jon Stewart. So because Idris Elba, course, people thought would be good as well. So it's always, I don't know what it is with him in any open black casting. Everyone just throws him and Michael B. Jordan. We've talked about this before. It's funny. I don't know. But looking at this guy's picture, looks great. Seems like he would do a great job. I've not seen anything he's been in, but they had a side by side of him with of Jon Stewart and his picture, and he looks like he's thin, got the physique to it. Looks good to me. So, but who knows? It doesn't even matter what we want or think. They're going to do whatever they want to do. And, I'm sure we'll find out hopefully in the next month or two, because they need to start moving on the series, I think. And you're right. I'll just kind of wrap up my thoughts on this. I'm glad, and you mentioned this, I'm glad that it's going to be on Max, because we just did a video, concerning another series that has just come out on Max. And I didn't talk about this in that video, but being that both of these would be on Max and have that backing of the money to do what they need to make the series look like, with the Penguin, Gotham looked amazing. And it looked dirty, gritty. It looked great. And I'd imagine in this series that they would still do it, do the Lantern Corps. And what's the name of their
planet?
Corps? Yeah.
Oa.
I think they've, like you said, they've got the money, they got the backing, they got the studio that can do it. Thank God it's not going to be in the CW. So that's kind of my take on. Hopefully, it's going to be great. So
I'm torn between if the CW did a Green Lantern series and the Green Lantern movie starring Ryan Reynolds, which would look worse. Because obviously, that was a big thing. And I believe with Max, we aren't going to have that with that kind of backing and what they put into their series lately. And if you're going to bankroll a Green Lantern series, their powers are 100% CG. I mean, it's all ring-based powers. Hopefully they don't do the suit like that again, because, even Ryan Reynolds makes fun of that. Which is funny that him and Ryan Reynolds and Josh Brolin joke about the Green Lantern. They've obviously they've done several projects together, and they joke around about Green Lantern. And if he would have been the next Hal Jordan, that would have been kind of funny, given that he gives Ryan so much shit about Hal being Green Lantern.
I've never seen Green Lantern.
Neither have I.
It's just from you haven't either.
No, the editor didn't even see it.
But
would have been awesome. However, I like Kyle Chandler. I've seen him I like him in The Wolf of Wall Street. I've seen him in both of the Kong series. Well, the 2005, he was just the one movie on that. I've seen him in several things. I like him as an actor. I think, again, he could play a decent... since we're doing a older Hal Jordan, I'm excited to get to see some of these deeper storylines behind Green Lantern instead of like, oh, let's introduce the core, and then we're going to do Parallax, which, don't get me wrong, if Parallax comes in its full-fledged actual comic book version, will be awesome.
Yeah.
Again, because Hal Jordan becomes Parallax, spoiler alert, but he ends up becoming Parallax. So that all will be awesome. I'd love it if they could take it that route, because I think people will get a deeper appreciation for the character. Because, guys, I know there are people who watch the channel who are big comic book fans and know a lot of this stuff, and we definitely do appreciate you. But there are a lot of people who their only experience to it is maybe been some of the animated stuff, but a lot, also, for the mainstream people who don't know a lot about the character, has been Ryan Reynolds in that atrocious movie that just they did the best I think you could given the circumstance, but and we've done several videos on this, of having to introduce too much. You had to introduce the character, you had to introduce the Green Lantern Corps, and then a villain, and for some reason you went with their biggest fucking villain right in the very beginning, and it was too much. It was way too much for a movie. So I think the series can do it very, very well, and we could draw it out. And again, all that doesn't even have to be connected to the DC, like what's going on in the Superman realm, because we know Superman and Earth are going to have Guy Gardner, right? So they could be off doing their own thing. And if we have to do a big tie-in for a huge ass battle, we could bring them in later. So I'm excited to see. But guys, I do understand. I am there with you for my avid DCEU fans, or I say our avid DCEU fans out there, that, yeah, it sucks seeing all these older actors cast and not having Henry Cavill as Superman. But, unfortunately, what
are you going to do?
We got to move on, right? I know it sucks, but nothing, at least, guys, maybe you have a better chance. I can tell you our small YouTube channel here isn't going to convince James Gunn to bring Henry Cavill back as Superman, right? So we got to kind of roll with those punches and hope he's doing the best that he can, or he's going to do the best that he can with these characters and these storylines, right? This is all we got, right? So, yeah. Mantis? Was that your final thoughts? Do you have anything else?
No, but you just made me think of something that would be funny. Is having Henry Cavill as an alternate Superman in some other,
which we've done a video on too.
Yes, cameo type thing would be hilarious. So anyway, yeah, that's it. The way Max is handling their series, at least from what we've seen this past Sunday, I'm here for it. So this needs to hurry up and get going. That's all I'm saying.
I need some fucking trailers, right? I need to know, all we have are still images, rumors, some things confirmed. I need some trailers. I need to know things are happening. I need to see what this is going to look like, right? Because
basically the Blair Witch Project at this point, okay? We want to see
shaky cam going crazy. I know that didn't look good. That's terrible. I might have to cut that. But I got shaky cam. I got still images. I got a lot of people, including, we're trying not to make too many assumptions, right? Until we know for sure. We just got to, we give our opinions on what we see, right? This is, we're just giving opinion. Hey, they could do this. They could do this. Maybe they don't. Maybe they do. Who the fuck knows at this point? None of us. We're all waiting. Okay. And while you're doing that, waiting and watching this video, consider giving it a like. He's going to show you where. Right at his crotch. subscribing to the channel, because guys, we're up to 3 videos a week, and we still can't keep up with all the news coming out of, from the Lanterns to what's going on with the rest of the DCU, what's going on with the Elseworlds timeline, because technically that's where Penguin falls in. All that, and what's going on the Marvel side too, right? So we're putting out as many videos as we possibly can, given that we both have full-time jobs as well, but we're doing it for you guys. So we do ask that if you are enjoying the content, giving the video a like, but subscribing to the channel, clicking the little bell. I know YouTube asks for a lot. If I can make it simpler, I would, but they're very needy. And then commenting down below. How do you feel, like, and if you are upset that we're getting these older actors, but we're not getting Henry Cavill, hey, feel free. Let us say it down in the comments. Preach it, okay? We're still here for it, right? We do love Henry.
Vent in our comments.
Let us know. Let us know. Yeah, vent. It's therapy, right? We'll talk it out. But also let us know, how do you feel about the older Hal Jordan and getting to see some of these other storylines in the comics, like, we got Blackest Night, then we'll have Brightest Day, all of that. How are you feeling on that? Are you excited? You scared for it because they might mess it up?
Kind of go for the gold.
Mantis?
Yeah.
You have to, but you know what? The way the Green Lantern has been lately, you just got a participation trophy. So,
some plastic piece of shit.
Exactly, that you end up paying for yourself. Yeah. So, guys, all right, that's going to wrap it for us here on this episode of You, Me, and DC. Until next time, we will see you then.
Later.